Lockout tagout is a top 10 OSHA most cited violation. Your employees depend on you to provide the safest workplace possible. Injuries will occur that could have been prevented. Give your employees the skills and knowledge they need to protect themselves. Welcome to Lockout Tagout for managers and supervisors.
Managers and supervisors covered by OSHA's Lockout Tagout standard need to know the standard that outlines the minimum requirements to safely store energy. Hi, my name is Mark Medley, and on this edition of our Safety Compliance series, we will discuss what managers and supervisors need to know about OSHA's Lockout Tagout standard. The OSHA Lockout Tagout standard, also referred to as 1910-147, is the OSHA standard that outlines minimum performance requirements for the control of hazardous energy during the servicing and maintenance of machines and equipment. In fiscal year 2016, OSHA found Lockout Tagout as the 5th most cited violation, the 4th most serious, and the 2nd most willful cited violation. In that same year, OSHA cited Sunfield Incorporated of Hebron, Ohio, an auto parts manufacturer that's staffed by temporary employees, and proposed $3.42 million in penalties after 2 plant employees sustained severe injuries over a 2-month period. In January, a 22-year-old man suffered multiple lacerations and a fractured right elbow at Sunfield. In February, a Sunfield employee had his right arm amputated after it was crushed on a press line. Both of these injuries were caused by lockout tagout hazards, resulting in severe injuries. After these injuries, a federal inspection resulted in one of the largest OSHA penalties ever filed against an auto parts manufacturer in the U.S. OSHA stated that the company, which has a long history of safety violations, failed to disconnect machinery from a power supply and prevent sudden movement before maintenance and servicing. The company also failed to train workers on how to safely operate machine presses and did not service and maintain them as needed. OSHA's citations included 46 egregious willful, 2 willful, 1 repeat, and 8 serious safety violations against the company, and the agency placed it into the Severe Violator Enforcement Program, meaning the company will be subjected to more inspections. OSHA's administrator, David Michaels, said, "Sunfield has shown total disregard for its workers, the kind rarely seen since the darkest days of the past when callous industrials ruled and put profits before human suffering and common decency. This has to stop." OSHA has indicated industry-wide in fiscal year 2016, the top 5 lockout tagout sections cited were 1910-147 C4I for general procedures, 1910-147 C1 energy control programs, 1910-147 C6I, the requirement that the employer shall conduct periodic inspections, 1910-147 C7I, the requirement to provide training, and 1910-147 C7I, the requirement that each authorized employee shall receive specific training in the recognition of applicable hazard energy sources. Lockout tagout is an integral part of any safety and health program. As statistics can demonstrate, it's also one aspect of safety that's too often violated. The OSHA Lockout Tagout standard provides some specific requirements for the control of stored energy. But whether or not there are specifics in the standard, simply keep in mind that if there is any stored energy that can affect your employee's safety, then it must be controlled in some way.
News release from OSHA, the company didn't train workers on shutting down equipment when they service it. It also isn't using proper procedure to stop the equipment from starting up. And it failed to utilize a specific written energy control procedure for an area where employees were required to clean debris.
A wide variety of stored energy can present hazards, and not just electrical hazards, but all stored energy can present hazards. Clearly, any of these hazards present a danger to employees and must be controlled. Give your employees the skills, knowledge, and abilities they need in order to protect themselves. Next in this series, we'll explain the details of the lockout-tagout standard and will help promote best industry practices that tend to protect employee safety.
This has been a Rock and M production.